We haven't shown a video of our two cows, Spring Rain and Simple. And here they are, giving each other a bit of a clean. It's a beautiful morning here in the back paddock, and we're gradually rotating them through this paddock, which is about 9 hectares. So I've broken it up into about 7 or 8 paddocks, and they've been in this top paddock. Down here you can see the fence along the track down to the dairy, so they're in there for about 4 or 5 days, and I've doing a little experiment. I've topped part of it and left the other part to see how the grasses grow, and the sheep and the cows are together and they're enjoying their next break, which they've been in there for about 4 days, and I think this is their 6th day in that break. And I've got another break up further for them to go into, which I'll set up today, and they'll go in there probably Monday. And this is the second break that they were in, which I've also topped, just to take all the seed heads off and see how we've still got a bit of moisture in the ground, and it's rained, and we've had a few mornings with a heavy dew, so we'll see how this regrows. But I don't envisage them being back here for at least 50-60 days, so to give it a good break. I've got a number of paddocks to choose from. The front paddock will be ready for them in about 5 weeks, which will coincide when this paddock is finished, but then I've got another 3 paddocks to choose from, so I'll just have to play it by ear and see which one they go into is easiest. They have a water tote that I fill up from this one on the back of the truck every day, because they go through a fair bit of water, especially on a warm day. That takes about 10 minutes to top up. I'm just waiting for that to get enough water in it, and then I check that in the evening as well. Just got to make sure that the electric fence doesn't hit it at any stage like this one is threatening to do, so I'll just tighten this one up. And that should stay there, sort of. But they're both looking really good. Enjoying their plentiful grasses at the moment. The sheep have all spread out, so half of them are sitting down having a rest, and the rest are all out there. Hopefully some of these girls are pregnant. You can see they're pretty big. It's hard to tell without technology doing a scan, but they're all looking very rotundous. That one won't get pregnant, that one's a wether. But this old girl here, she's one of our older girls. I'm just keeping an eye on her because she's not as, that's lovely. She's not as rotundous as the rest. But I might, after their next break, give them all a drench. But by grazing them this way, we should decrease the worm burden and shouldn't need drenching as often. They're looking good. You won't see this very often, where a cow and sheep will share a bucket of feed. That's so cute. I give them a bucket of just a couple of handfuls of chaff every couple of days, just to say hello and keep them used to me. The sheep are cottoning in now and liking it. Spring Rain's a bit pushy than than Symbol, and she'll push the other one away. But I've never seen the cows let the sheep eat out of her bucket. It's funny. I'm nearly ready to move these guys. I've just set up their new break down this fence line, which I'm quite proud of that. That's a nice straight line. That doesn't often happen, but I have to mow a strip through the grass, otherwise the fence will short, which, speaking of, I have a major short somewhere in this fence line, probably from long grass touching the bottom wire. So I'll just have to go around and check, or a kangaroo's gone through the fence somewhere and knocked it over. That usually happens down along the creek line down there. So I'll go and walk around and have a look and turn it on and see if I've eliminated the short somewhere. So I've been right around the perimeter, and I think I found where the short is, and it's this wire here hooked over the barbed wire. So probably from a kangaroo lifting it up, going over the fence and catching the wire and popping it onto the other fence and shorting the whole thing out. So this is our electric fence energizer that's doing the whole back, and now that I've found the short, I can now see with my faithful little tester that I'm now getting nearly 7 volts through the system. There you go. I was only getting 0.5 before, so luckily they all respect the fence, and even though it might not have been super hot, they all stay in their break, which is super cool. We've trained them. Doesn't mean they won't escape at some time, but that's another problem.
Hello, girls. All right, we're back. So moving day for the sheep and the girls. So we've just disconnected the wires, and they're ready for a move. Is anybody in lamb? Let's hope. We keep looking at them thinking, is anybody growing a lamb? I hope so, but time will tell. So they're pretty trained now. As soon as they see Robert undoing the fence, they follow up. And this water tote will do them for the next section as well.
Come on, girls. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
They're pretty excited to go into their new paddock, aren't they? Cows look like, yeah, we're ready to.
Come on, Bubby. When you're ready. Come on, Bubby.
They need a little bit more encouragement. Lovely, everybody's through to the new pasture. So that's the new one, this is what they've been in, and that's what Robert has mowed. Looking good. Beautiful, that's a wrap. Reconnect the fence, switch her on, and we're good for another however long. Happy days. So much grass you can hardly see them. Well, you can see the cows, but the sheep is coming right up to their belly. Lovely.
After setting up the new paddock for them, I realised that I hadn't given them enough shade down the end of this break. There's only one tree down the end here that they had access to for a bit of afternoon shade. So I've opened up the bottom of their previous break so they can access under those trees there, which they actually like to do when it gets nice and warm in the afternoon. They come and find shade. So they've got this area here to access, and I don't have to worry about them being uncomfortable. So I've just modified the break to run across there, so they've got the bottom of this bit of paddock to get to the shade. I think even Errol would be happy about that. He would have told me off otherwise. Cheers.